Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm back today with a new tutorial and I'm going to introduce you to some really handy new techniques to try in Adobe Illustrator. We're going to be creating this wholesome scene of some washing drying on the line. Some of the techniques I'm going to use I've already done tutorials on, so I'll put links to the relevant videos on the screen and then you can check them out if you need to. Anything new and I'll explain it as we go. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to expand a gradient so that you can create yourself a folder of swatches. This is really handy if you're drawing something like foliage. Using lots of very similar colours will create depth and make it look a little bit more realistic. So I'm drawing an oblong and I'm filling it with one of the preset green gradients that are already there in Adobe Illustrator, and then I'm going to click on Expand. You can decide how many colours you want to split your gradient into, and I've chosen 8. Now I'm going to use these 8 colours to create a folder of swatches. Check out my video Winter City Park Scene for more details about how to do this. Now for the main part of the garden I'm using familiar techniques that we've been through before, so I'm going to speed this bit up, and if you want to find out more about gradients please click on the link. Now I'm going to draw a simple fence and I'm going to introduce you to anchor points. If you're only just getting started with vectors, the anchor points are the little square dots positioned on your shape where the line changes direction. The rectangle I've drawn has 4 anchor points, one on each corner, but I want to add a 5th one so that I can create a point at the top. So I'm going to click on the Add Anchor Point, and that's the little fountain pen symbol with a plus sign. And I'm going to click where I want my point. If you hover over the shape, Illustrator will flash up a handy guide when you're in line with the centre, so once that pops up I'll click down right there and I know that it's central. Now with my direct selection tool, which is the little arrow without the plus symbol, I can nudge that point up and I've created a new angle on my straight line. I'm going to do a similar thing to add a bit of shadow to the post using a light grey, and then I'm going to build a quick fence by selecting the 2 shapes. I'm holding down Option and Shift at the same time and I'm going to drag them to the next position. Then I'll click on Command D and that will duplicate the action to make as many fence posts as I like. I'm going to give Mr. Blobby a break today and use a different technique to create texture in some bushes I've drawn using the pencil tool. I'll select the shape and then I'm going to take the knife tool, which is in the toolbar on the left, and draw a wavy line all the way through. This will split my shape into 2 different parts, and then I can make each part a slightly different colour. If I do a similar thing to all 3 bushes and colour them in the same way, it will give the impression of sunlight coming from the left. Okay, now we're going to create some flowers. Draw a circle using the ellipse tool. Don't worry about the placement or the size yet. We want it quite big so that it's easy to work with. Now in the menu bar we're going to click on Object Path, Add Anchor Points. This tool will double the number of points every time you click on it by adding equidistant points in between the existing ones. So now instead of 4 points on our circle we have 8. Now using the Pucker and Bloat tool, at 15% we can create a simple flower really easily. Now you can copy and paste this shape in a different colour, scale it down and centre it, add a dot in the middle and there's your flower. I'm going to fill in the shrubbery using techniques we've used on previous videos, so sit back and relax as I do a bit of gardening. Okay, now we're going to do our laundry. Using the rectangle tool again, we'll first create the washing line posts. And now I'm going to show you how to trace a pencil drawing. If, like me, you find drawing organic shapes directly in Illustrator a bit awkward, then this technique might really help. So I've sketched out my washing hanging on the line on a bit of paper, and I've taken a photograph of it. I'm going to drag the file into a new layer and shrink it down a bit. Make sure you hold down your shift key when you're doing this to keep the proportions the same. Now take the transparency of the sketch down to about 70% and lock that layer. Create another layer underneath, and now we can start drawing around the shapes using the pen tool. I know a lot of you find the pen tool difficult, and the only trick really with this one is practice until it feels comfortable. If you'd like an in-depth tutorial on the pen, let me know and I'll do one. So I'm just going around all the outlines of my drawing and clicking down when I want to change direction. I'm using a white fill, and then I'm going to use the knife tool again to split my shape so that I can add shadows. The last trick I'm going to share today is an easy way to create realistic looking shadows. So we're going to copy and paste the whole of the washing line with the laundry and drag it down and colour it black. Now using the free transform tool, I can turn the whole lot upside down, squish it a little bit and take the transparency down until it looks like a shadow. Okay, we're almost done. I just want to add a couple more things that will make this scene much more realistic. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you've got any questions at all, just leave me a comment. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.